Hello, everybody, and welcome back to today's episode of a roleplay Far Verona, featuring my friends and a chair. So Nomi, I need a roll from you. I need a roll. Yeah, I think that she like as she gets up, we all see her get up, and as she does, she just like hits a button on her keyboard, and then like makes it just look like, oh, I'm just touching the desk. And we see this progress bar like start to go up. We can see that on the camera. Let's see if Nomi notices. So make a notice roll with wisdom or intelligence, whichever you prefer. You either notice her or you notice that she did the thing.
7.
Okay. All right. So you notice that she has done something to her computer. Do you keep an eye on her and not worry about the computer, or do you turn the computer screen around to like look at it and see what she did?
How do I do both?
I split my consciousness into two.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy. Your answer is danger sense.
Yes, actually, in this case, danger sense would help you, but no.
Can I suppress cognition and turn the computer screen around?
No, you have
No.
an opportunity because you got a 7 and not a 10. You have the opportunity to do one thing.
Okay. But I know she did something.
You saw her do something, yeah.
Okay.
So she like hit a button on her keyboard, but you can't see the screen, so you don't know what's going on.
Okay. Can I draw my weapon? And
yes. Okay.
And I tell her, I don't turn the computer screen around, but I tell her to stop whatever she just did. Like,
all right. So you take out your pistol and you point it at her. Somewhere in the ship, like a bunch of alarms go off. No, you don't hear anything. It's not like loud blaring alarms, but in the command center on someone's monitor who is like watching the scene take place, an alarm goes off and the internal ship scanners detect that a weapon has been drawn and is powering up. So we see Nomi and we see Evangeline in like wireframe, and there's the glowing red of like your gun, and then both of your icons come up with who it is, and when we see that it is you who has drawn the gun, the alarm, like they just hit a button and they're like, it's cool. Nomi's allowed to whip a gun out on the ship. It's okay. Like this is a gun alarm, but that's okay. We don't have to worry about it. So the person just dismisses the alarm and sends a notification to whoever is supposed to monitor the scene, and they watch. So anyway, you pull your gun out and you point it at her. She like puts her hands up even further than they were and like steps back away from the gun. What do you say?
I say, what did you just do?
Nothing. I did what you said. I got
Don't
up.
Lie
I'm
to
surrendering.
me. Stop what you just did. And at this point, can I turn the computer screen around?
Yeah, and you can like reach over and like turn around. Okay. Unfortunately, whatever it is that she was doing has completed. So when on the screen, all you see is Operation Complete and the little like acre symbol. And she gives you like a guilty look, like
too late.
Like oops.
Okay.
Like she's not so stupid as to be like, oops, sorry. But like there's a bit of like nothing I can do now.
Yeah. So I kind of like look at it real quick, and then I look back at her. And I just say, well, I tried to help you, but it seems that you have chosen your fate. And I just kind of let that sink in. I don't think I like carry like handcuffs or something. I just hit her in the head with my gun.
I mean, you're on your ship, so if you're carrying around handcuffs, they're like recreational, like you just carry them for fun. But also, you might. So, like, I don't know. Is Nomi the kind of person who just carry around a pair of handcuffs just in case?
No, I'm just gonna. Can I just hit her in the head? Just like knock her out.
Yes. Yeah, I'll make.
Or actually,
I mean, there's. Yeah.
this will be better.
Okay.
Can I use? I'm gonna use my suppress cognition or whatever to
Uh-huh.
just make
Yeah.
her like submissive, I guess. To make her
Okay.
like, I don't want. I don't. I'm like trying to prevent her from just like bolting or something, or like
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
attack
Yeah.
me when
So you
I
want to
like make
suppress?
her.
You want to suppress any thought or desire she might have to disobey you,
Yeah.
right? To run. In this
Right.
case, that
Golden
specific thing.
retriever
Okay.
brain. She wants to
Yeah.
like make me happy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me. Oh yeah, no problem. She doesn't. She couldn't even entertain the thought.
Nice.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
just you peel her brain like a grape, and she just like can't even imagine like running off or leaving.
Okay. I'm going to calm for Booker then.
Okay.
So I like kind of I put my gun away because she is not a threat to me anymore in my mind. And
Okay.
then I pull my comm out and I look at her and I say, "Sit by the door. Don't move." And then I calm for Booker and I say,
She
I
nods
have
and
a
she
s-
just sits down on the floor.
yeah. I have a situation with the acre representative. I could require your assistance for a moment. And I tell him where I am.
Copy. On my way.
And then I don't really know anything about computers, and so I don't want to like try and fuck with the thing, but I'm just gonna wait for him. Can I
So
like go through her desk?
almost
Maybe?
as if almost as if the ship is reading your mind, but really what it is that everyone on the ship is constantly under surveillance. You turn to look at the computer, and a panel, one of the Vox panels on the wall, like clicks on, and you hear a disembodied voice of some Crux officer say, "Serious Ka, we can send a tech team down if you want."
Yes, that would be excellent. Thank you. There's
They're on
something
the
on this
way.
computer we need to find. Um, I'll just wait for them, I guess.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so then this they send a they'll send a tech team to come down and do some stuff. But before that happens, Booker, you're closer, I think. So maybe you show up.
Yep. I probably just walk in the door because whatever.
Yeah, they're out in the hall right now. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you know where the
I still walk in the door. I just walk right past them. Not a big deal.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, no, I walk up and approach and like, know me? What do we got here? What's going on?
I was sent by Officer Yancey to investigate the acre representative on our ship. Unfortunately, it seems that she has made surreptitious contact with Acre, and on my way to take her to the detainment facility, she performed some operation on the computer which resulted in a wipe of some kind. I'm not sure what exactly she erased, but I'm not sure how to proceed with this. I figured that maybe you could take a look in her office and see if there's anything else that we need to be aware of. The tech team will be here shortly to examine the computer, but they don't have your eye for detective skills.
Understood. I can take a look, but yeah, we're going to want to have a tech team try to see if they can extract anything out of this hard drive. I doubt it, though, but worth a look. I'll step inside and see what I can dig up.
Thank you. Meanwhile, I think that if you don't require my services here, I will take this one to the brig. If you could tell the tech team when they arrive that there's apparently some kind of hidden file system aboard the Crux computers that needs to be found, and perhaps this computer could lead to it, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Sounds good. I'll report back after.
And Nomi leaves to take a phone call.
Okay. All right. So Booker, you want to take a look in the office?
Yeah. I walk in
Okay.
and I press the button that enables my detective vision. I'm going to
Okay,
Batman the
cool.
shit
So
out of this.
for some reason, the game has made it you have to push down on the right stick, but you have to use the right stick to move, so it's really awkward.
Really weird, yeah.
Yeah, like why did they do this? Okay, all right. So everything turns kind of purple and glowy. You wanna take a look around. What are you looking for? None of that actually happened, but you are doing some detective shit. So what are you looking for?
I mean, I'm gonna look for anything out of place, anything that cut. I mean, if you want me to roll perception, I can. But if you're looking for more specific, like
Let's have you
parameters,
roll. Let's have you roll, and then depending on how well you do, you can ask me questions
we'll
about
go
about
from
the
there.
office, and I'll
Okay,
I'll answer you. Yeah, we'll do a
sounds
we'll
good.
do a the fucking discern realities. So make a notice and intelligence roll.
Okay, I'm gonna dust for fingerprints. We're gonna find out who lives here.
Okay, all
Oh,
right.
right, yeah,
It's her. It's the last person then.
it's her, right? Makes sense. Okay, sheet up. You said notice with.
Notice and intelligence. Yep.
Got it. Why isn't it prompting? Oh, I'm stupid. Never mind. Here we go.
Welcome to the
Oh,
game,
very
Booker
good.
Graves. Okay, all right. I mean, it's like a brushed metal
Good
like
enough.
box with brushed metal furniture and like maybe some gray plastic casing for the computer. The computer just has a operation complete display on the front of it, and there isn't really much else here. Now, she doesn't like live in her office, but it seems to you that the only thing that's really in the office is this picture of some pastoral scene from some planet somewhere and her computer. Though it does occur
Mm,
to you that she has quarters. She has like a living space somewhere else on the ship.
yeah. Um, he's gonna put on just gloves. In general, just to make sure that if
Yep.
he touches anything, it doesn't contaminate anything. Just that it wouldn't really matter too much, but in either case, you never know who might want to incriminate Booker too. So, yeah, he's
Right.
gonna further examine like her workstation. If there's drawers and stuff, he's gonna go through them.
Okay. Yeah, everything in her office is like eerily the same. Like it's all one of two or three colors. The font on everything, like on all of her pencils, the word pencil is written, and like her notepad has like a little watermark that says notepad on it. Like everything is labeled with the same font, and has this kind of like what was the company from Lost? You know how they had all like everything was just like white labels with like the word with the name on it? It's like that. So it's all very like cookie cutter stuff. Nothing personal about her office except for the painting. Yeah, the Dharma Initiative. That's the one. Thank you. Yeah, except for her like one piece of personal stuff.
Yeah. I guess Booker would take a further look at that picture and like examine the frame and stuff that it's in, see if there's anything inside of it. That
Okay.
old trope.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's a thin like a thin display in a little frame that also serves as a battery. It's plugged into the ship's like power grid. You can turn it on and off. You press the button and the paper like just goes blank. And yeah, it doesn't seem to have anything like hiding in it.
Okay. So all that's really, you said it's pretty blank workspace, right?
Pretty standard acre stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Were
Okay.
you were you
Well,
on were you on the were you on the ship when this person arrived?
I don't remember.
She's been here a while. Yeah, I'm just curious. It
Oh,
doesn't really matter.
probably then. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I couldn't
Yeah,
remember
because
if
she
she was
came in
somebody
a
that came on with the sad song and all that stuff or whatever.
no,
Movie.
she's been a while. She's been on the ship a while. She arrived in a like a boxy acre shuttlecraft that looks pretty much like the shuttle version of this office. And
Nice
had
and
like an
boring.
office,
Yeah.
yeah, like an office kit basically that she just like put in here.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you've never, I mean, the two of you have never interacted socially, so you don't really know much
Hmm.
about her.
Well, there's nothing really else there in the office, and it's pretty barren. And after he's already kind of like surveyed everything, drawers and whatever workspace, um, he's just gonna wait for the tech team to get here before
Okay. Yep.
leaving the room unsecure.
Yeah, so I think that they do. We get a bit of time where like three black and purple uniformed tech officers arrive, and they take the case off of the computer and they attach, like, they have their own little like scanning kit. They attach a bunch of cables to it and they start doing their job, which isn't really something that Booker is necessarily familiar with, but they're doing the IT thing. They're like scanning it and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, as they're doing that,
yeah.
Booker's just probably gonna ask them real quick, like, have any idea what she might have ran? Do you think it's hopeless to extract any data? I'd imagine so, but not my area of expertise.
One of the tech officers stands up because all three of them can't fit in the room, and he looks at you and he says, "Well, it depends. These kind of things, these last minute kill switch type operations tend to be hardware destructive, which, as you can see, not the case here. There'd be a lot more smoke, sparks, that kind of thing. She could have run some kind of virus. We got decent firewalls on the ship. We get attacked by data pirates all the time, so I'm not too worried about that either. Chances are pretty good she's just trying to cover up her trail. I gotta tell you," he looks over at the other guys and he's kind of smiling. He's like, "This little lady just made me some money. So we had a bet going about whether she was a traitor or not. Me and some of the guys in observation. Looks like I'm buying drinks tonight, huh?" And he like gives you a little nudge, like, "Hey, yeah, I won."
Booker just gives him like a little smirk or whatever, and then goes back to business on his expressions. Like, Nomi, Sirius mentioned that there was a possibility of a potential secure drive that we're not privy to, that she might have been using, some sort of network. Not sure. You might want to try to find that.
One of the other techs, one of the ones that's inside, says, she's like, "Oh yeah, there's a hidden partition. It's not very well hidden though. We got it."
Very good. Well, you give me an update as well as Sirius Nomika. That would be best. Appreciate the work, and congrats on your bet.
And he nods and he says, yeah, thanks, Officer Greaves. Have a good one."
Yeah, and then Booker leaves.
Okay, you're gonna leave for the office. You're gonna go to her room.
Yeah, he's just gonna go to her room. He thought about like just contacting Nomi to like clear. He's like, nah, it's fine. I can just go. That makes sense.
Okay, all right. So while Nomi heads for the brig and Booker takes the long route over to the Acre reps quarters, Gabriel and the Amira, what are the two of you up to?
I would probably, after the discussions with the Amira and her aunt, and the aunt obviously revealing that the Acre Core agent is kind of related to their plans, I would probably tell them both that, like, I'll go and speak to her,
to clarify.
It is. Yeah.
It's not a part of my plan.
No, I know it's not part of your plan.
My aunt has done something terrible, and I'm trying to save her skin.
Yeah,
I
know.
Achieved my passage off the ship via legal above board means.
Yes. So I think that, the Gabriel just is like, well, I will go and speak with this Acre rep and ensure her safety in that regard, or whatever it was agreed to. But then when I get out the room and go down the corridor, I track down where Nomi is, and I will go and find Nomi.
Okay, and is this, you want to track down Nomi because you have something you want to talk to Nomi about, or is this because what's going to happen? You're going to run into Nomi with the prisoner, right? Like, this is going to be
Gabriel
you find both of them. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
He's going to tattle on my aunt.
I'm not
okay. All right.
On the aunt, but not you. I'm going to try and
there's nothing to tattle on me for.
I know.
Other than asking you to help my aunt.
I love it. I love that Kieran is like adjacent to a bunch of like treason and shit, and everybody's like, "You're a part of this," and you're like, "No, I'm not. Stop it."
No,
I'm not. I'm basically telling my aunt, like, you know what? You should just. This would be my advice to her as like a family member, not as like from my house. As a family member, I'd be like, you should defect. That's what I would say to her. Like, listen, right now, you are like in the USSR, but you're serving, you're living in a place that the USSR no longer controls. It might be
Yeah.
smart for you to defect. Now, she's an
Yeah.
idiot. She's not doing
Exactly.
that. But if I was her, I would
This
hand
ship-
over all my information to Crux and pledge loyalty to them. That's way people made all these kinds of deals during World War II, during the Cold War. She is being
I was about to say what this ship is basically like the Iranian embassy in 1979. Like, yep, we need to get out of here. This is a bad call. Let's go.
defect.
So
But she won't
yeah.
do it, so
yeah. So Gabriel, you leaving the Amira and her aunt and the in the other room servant packing up the kitchen. Do you have anything to say to your aunt now that you're alone again? She gives you a look like, are you sure we can trust that guy?
mm-hmm.
It's this very judgy, like, I know you think you're
Mhm.
in control, but I'm still older than you and I'm your auntie and I'm in charge. Like,
Yeah,
just trying to
yeah,
hold
yeah.
on to that.
After Gabriel leaves, I'm quiet for a moment, and that's probably like one of the first things I say back is I'm like is I really hope that for your sake, Gabriel finds some use in you. That's really what
She
it comes down to. How useful
scowls
you are.
and she says, "This ship couldn't move without me. I'm the only one who can read the maps. I have assistants, but without my training, the Prudence would have a very difficult time getting anywhere. They need me more than they think."
Then they would just hold on to you long enough to find someone to replace you, keep you here by force, and then kill you anyway. Knowledge is
Anything really to
power,
say about it.
and you find yourself in some sort of position with the knowledge you have. How you use that to preserve your own hide is entirely up to you. Personally, I think you're in a little bit over your head. Now, as far as whether Gabriel will prove an important ally to you or not, I don't think anyone can say for certain. I don't think he would go out of his way to screw you over, pardon my French. But you also have to remember he is a man who holds very close to his values. And if he feels that you violated those in some ways, or that your faith is in his tenets, so to speak, it starts to waver, I don't think he would hesitate to throw you to the wolves. I think putting all of your eggs in one basket was a bit of a mistake.
She scowls and I think she takes a step towards you, and she says, "Finish with all of this nonsense." She gestures at like your room.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have time. There's a ship coming. It made the jump from Demnoff not long ago. It should be here in a day or two. An Acre ship, and there's room on it for me, and I'm sure that we can find room on it for you. And it can take us both back to Hakani.
I've secured my own way back home
It's
via
not
my
going to be
own
safe.
means.
You don't understand. The house is fracturing. Whoever you think that you can trust that's sending this ship to pick you up, you can't. At least, not for certain.
I think I'll take my chances through the channels that I've created for myself. I don't think you
Stubborn.
understand. Unlike
like
you, I have done nothing that is incriminating.
Stubborn, foolish girl. You will learn soon enough that it doesn't matter what you have done, but who you are that is the problem.
I wish you the best of luck. And I hope that this Acre ship takes you home safely. In fact, I hope I get to see you there. Hopefully soon. I
She
just
makes a
feel like
face.
this is risky.
She makes a face like she's scared for you now. And she says, And there's clearly something that she hasn't let on before, and she looks at you and says, this ship that's coming to get you, when will it be here?
I don't have the details yet. I can look into it. I actually I remember we tracked down a ship, but I don't remember if that was the ship we hailed to. And I know we were waiting on my paperwork to clear.
Yeah,
Because I remember talk of a ship. I remember it's like, oh yeah, this is a ship hauling from here to here.
So
It wasn't going to Hakani. It was just leaving the
It was just
system.
getting the fuck out of here. Yes, yeah, that was the ship that Trillion dude, Aram Cruz like set you up. He was like, yeah, we can get you out of here. So yeah, I think it's still valid if you wanna take that ship. But if you leave without Nomi signing off on your paperwork, technically you'll be AWOL or whatever, right? That's a different thing.
Which she signed off on, and she just didn't turn it in yet.
Yeah, she's still holding on to it. So the ship that Aram Cruz, let's just put a time on it. The ship that Aram Cruz arranged for you will be here like pretty soon. Yeah. Let's call it like a day, maybe 2. It'll be close. It sounds like it's like in a pretty similar window.
Okay. I'll tell her that. Be like, I've kind of have a lead on my own vessel that
so
I will most likely be piloting.
Yeah, she says, I know that you have spent almost all your life looking for some purpose, something to do, but right now all you need to do is survive, and getting off this ship is the first step. Please, as soon as you can, go. If you're not coming with me, then just it's not safe here. Not for you or for me. For anyone. And when she says that, there's that like slight like look, and then she shakes her head and she says, I have to go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna push her further. I don't feel like the Amira would. I feel like to press her further would just be metagaming, so I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. Okay.
Is it gonna blow? Is the whole ship gonna blow up?
What are you talking about? Stop making faces.
What are you doing?
So she pushes past you, and she gives you one last dramatic look, and then she goes.
All right.
All right, so she leaves. So, Crusader, you ask the ship, I assume, like, where is Nomika, and then go after her.
Like, where is blah blah blah? Yeah.
Yep. The ship's VI gives you like a coordinate, like gives you a like deck 6 between this and this, and so you.
And I know that's the brig, though, right? Like.
No, not yet.
Okay.
She's. You can't, you don't know where she's nearish to the brig.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll just go there and try and track Nomi down. That's when I can.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I think then Nomi, you are on your way to go and take this prisoner to the brig. When you see the Crusader approaching, you see Gabriel coming down the gangplank, down the hallway towards you.
Okay. I just kind of like give him a nod, but I'm gonna keep walking because I wasn't like expecting him or anything.
I'll fall in step, like behind or kind of like alongside. Classic space military drama, like you're clearly going somewhere important. I will turn about step and go with you. And just turn and say, Siris, am I interrupting something?
Crusader, I was just taking this woman to the brig. Is there something that you needed me for?
I believe I have some very important information regarding something going on board the ship, and I could honestly do with your input into things. It concerns a few parties involved. You said the brig. I'm assuming this woman is under arrest then.
She is, yes.
I see. Well, she seems to be going along quite cooperatively, but I don't feel comfortable speaking in front of her. Perhaps I can just accompany you until she is secured, and then I can speak with you briefly.
Yes, I think it's best not to discuss any matters of intelligence around a traitor.
Indeed, a traitor indeed as well. Yes, well, I will happily accompany you, and then once we have her secured away, we can speak.
Absolutely. And I just keep walking and take
Yeah.
her to.
I'll probably like fall in behind her because obviously she's just going along. She's just walking alongside Nomi, but I think I just walk behind her in case there is like keep her between us or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's in front of Nomi and just kind of walking,
Mhm.
looking at the floor like.
Okay. Yep. Brain melting going on. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. I think it's
She's
not even
fine.
that, it's just that she's just like, God, my life is over. She's elsewhere. She's worrying about her future. Okay. Yeah. So you take her to the brig?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So on your way there, as you approach the entrance to the little like brig like section, you walk by the docking console for like shuttles. So there's like essentially a shuttle entrance that is close to the brig, so you can get prisoner transfers. So we walk by this big hexagon shaped like warning, yellow and black tape like airlock hexagon, and into the brig itself, where you transfer the prisoner over to the local the people that work here, and they shove her in a cell. Do you have any special requests for her treatment, or you're just like, here you go, prisoner transfer from her room. Here's a traitor for you.
I mean, I assume that they don't have any kind of access to like communications or computers or anything when they're in
Nope.
the rig. Yeah. So no.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And so I dump her off, and then I just say like, she isn't to come in contact with anyone, especially anyone from Acre. She's under suspicion of treason. Crusader Gabriel, you wanted to speak.
Yes. Are there guards with us? Can we go into like a little like room like that doesn't have anybody in it or and stuff like that?
There's like a soundproof interrogation room.
Yeah, I'll just say a brief moment, if you will. It concerns a private matter concerning someone we know as well, and I need your input more than anything. And I believe it might even be related to what you are currently investigating.
Interesting. Shall we? And I kind of motion to one of the rooms.
Yeah, I step in, and then when we're in and settled, I'll turn on the mirror and sit down, and look quite actually perturbed and a bit unsettled. Like the Crusader tries to keep himself very well composed. Cyrus, I know that we have not known each other very long, and that you likely don't have much reason to trust me deeply, but how do I put this? I was on my way to speak with the Emira when I overheard her and her aunt, the navigator of the ship, discussing something which has alarmed me greatly, and I'm very loyal to the Empire. I believe in this empire, and I believe that the Church has an important part in that empire, but I do care for the Emira. I think that she is a good person, if nothing else. And I do not believe she is a traitor, but her aunt seems to be involved with something to do with Acre. I overheard something about siding with Acre, and when they spoke to me, there was certainly a strong hint of the aunt being involved in something going on, and the Emira is concerned for her safety. Now, it's without a doubt that I wish to see if there is any treasonous behavior, that the aunt should be appropriately judged and punished. But I worry what that might mean for the Emira, who has proven herself to us and has been a useful ally and has helped us in many dangerous circumstances. And for once, well, I feel like after Berkman, I'm not quite sure what to do. My church may have been involved in the assassination attempt on my life, and I feel like a bit of a pistol without a hand to hold it. You always seem quite composed, and I believe you also care for the Empire, and you seek to make the Empire right, and I would value your opinion.
You feel that the Amira is not involved in these treasonous activities. Is that based
No,
on any evidence, or is it merely your gut feeling?
a little of both in a way. The way that she spoke when she asked for my help in assisting her aunt, it came from a place of more concern for a member of her family than of trying to cover up some sort of misdeed. I don't have any proof, no, but I don't know. I get the impression that this is somebody trying to deal with a troublesome family member that they care for, rather than somebody who is actually involved in matters. I do worry about the Amira's connections to Trilliant. I am not overly keen of the corporations, and obviously, if Acre is involved in something, then perhaps Trilliant is as well. But I don't know. I have no evidence. It is a gut feeling, if nothing else, I suppose.
It is interesting that this corresponds with the Amira requesting permission to leave the Crux ship and to pursue her own agenda somewhere else.
I did see her packing, but she said that she had been reassigned, which I found strange, but not completely uncommon. I did not know that she had requested to leave. That is interesting. Perhaps my gut is more off-center than I believed. Silas, I come to you and I bring you this information as a lead investigator, as the team leader. How would you like to proceed? I feel that I am in need of guidance, and I can be a useful tool and a useful asset to you. You have seen what I am capable of, but right now I feel that you and Agent Greaves are two of the only people I can trust. So, how would you like to proceed? I can testify that the aunt certainly is involved in something concerning Acre. She mentioned an Acre employee, well, I guess she would have told me the same name, this of the one that
Penelope.
Nomi's just got. Yeah, Penelope.
Mhm. And you've
she was
never
involved-
met her too, so it's
Yeah.
like you
I just
couldn't be
mentioned
like,
the
oh,
name.
this was that lady. You just mentioned the name,
Yeah.
and then no
I
one's
just
like,
say
oh,
the
yeah.
name Penelope. They had made plans for to get off the ship together, and that they had planned to meet. The navigator has asked me to ensure her safety, but I have no intention of doing so for some traitor.
So when he kind of finishes, I smile just a little bit and I say, "Well, Crusader, you have already met Penelope, as you see. She's the woman that we just left at the brig. So it seems she will not be leaving the ship at all. But perhaps the aunt will be worth speaking to. However, I do not wish to
Yes.
make an enemy of the Amira, and I understand that she is concerned for her aunt's safety. Do you think that we should speak with the Amira first, or should we just go directly to the aunt?"
Well, considering that now I know that you already have the aunt in custody, certainly I think that we should. I think we should speak with the Amira, and
Well, that's not the aunt.
yes,
Penelope
yes,
is the Acre rep.
yeah. But she was the one, like the aunt wanted me to go and keep Penelope safe. So now
No
that
safer place.
Oh.
No safer place
Yeah.
than in the brig.
yeah,
see.
so I'll say like now that you have Penelope in custody and whatever connection between them, I'm sure will become exposed. Let me ask you this, no, Silas. What do you trust the Emira? Do you feel that she should just be given the benefit of the doubt, or should we do our due diligence and ensure that she is not complicit in these plans? She did come to me in faith, but my loyalty is to the Empire and to what we serve. So
Mhm. The Amira is young, and I sense still a bit of an idealism in her that has long since left any of us, I believe.
indeed.
I don't feel that we should be punished for the crimes of our families, but we should still investigate just to make sure and clear her name so that she can be released as she desires. So perhaps we
just
should
as
go
a-
and speak.
Just as a matter of like internal or external poesy, this moment is so good, and that thing you just said is perfect. It's a member of House Serpents telling the church, I don't think we should be held accountable for the crimes of our family, while the church is holding on to the serpents that killed the emperor. Like, that's just so perfect. This, like,
Yeah.
listen, sometimes our relatives do bad things, don't you think? Church guy?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's a fucking Renaissance painting of themes. Thank you.
Yeah. It also ties into Gabriel's stuff as well. Like his family's not
Mhm.
exactly the nicest people. So yeah, he nods. Thank you, Cirrus. I am not I come across as a very collected individual, but I find myself a little disturbed lately, and this has brought a lot of peace to me. Thank you. Whatever you need, I'm here to provide. And if there's any way that I can help you, please let me know. But yes, we should go and speak with the Emira then. Perhaps we should take Agent Greaves as well. Provide a friendly front, if nothing else. Convince her that we want her what's best for her.
I agree. Shall we go now then?
Of course, whatever you wish, Cirrus. Well, I'll just bow my head.
Excellent. Okay. So, Booker, you are in the room of the Acre representative on the ship.
Mhm.
So you look around and you see, she's got her room, her like quarters are bigger than her office. She has a bed, a little like side table, an entertainment console. There's a little side room for like a little kitchen. It's smaller than a proper officer. It's like a guest quarter. It's fairly plain, but there's more stuff in here. Though everything here is Acre issue. So it's like somewhere on this bed there is a metal like a stamp that just says bed and then a serial number. So yeah, you're in her room. Do you wanna dig through for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll
So
another
make let's have a roll. Do the same one. Notice and intelligence.
Good God.
Okay. All right. So you look through the place and it seems like she doesn't have a lot of like personal stuff. Like again, with her office, you don't find like there's no pictures of her family. There's no like personal stuff. I guess her personal data pad is there. But yeah. What do you I mean, you don't find anything if she's hiding anything here, but it's just all fairly plain.
Does she have another like desk or anything that I can just rifle through? I mean, I rolled a 6, so obviously if there's something of note that
Yeah, I mean, you can
more,
ask me about
wouldn't
you can
tell
ask me
though.
about anything that Booker would be able to like see at a glance or find in the room. But yeah, like anything, if she's like actively trying to hide anything, then you wouldn't find it.
Does she have
You can ask me
a
questions with her.
does she have a personal computer in here?
Yeah, she's got her data pad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll pick up her data pad and start just kind of rifling around in that.
Okay,
going
make
through
a make a luck
recent
make a luck
communiques and
save.
all that. Okay.
Okay, it's
Ah.
locked. It's got a key, like a key lock on it. Like there's a number sequence or whatever.
I do it again.
You can't do that. That's not how it works. If you had
The hell I
succeeded, you would
can't,
have like
Adam.
not locked it, but it's locked. Yeah.
Usually you get like 3 tries before it locks.
Oh, so you just okay? Give me a 4-digit number. I'm thinking of a 4-digit number. If you can guess, then I'll let you do it. Go. You get 3 tries.
You already have it?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way that I can tell chat where you won't see it, but I don't think I can. Okay, you're gonna have to trust me, chat.
You have it?
Yes, I do.
4297.
No.
How close was I?
It's not gonna tell you. Try again. You get 2 more tries.
Well, you got to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, just in case you're pulling that shenanigans.
It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. No.
I'm gonna do a 0, 0, 0, 0 as someone suggests as well, just in case.
No, it's not that. So you try it 3 times.
There's no way I'm gonna get this. There's
No,
so
there's
many
no way.
fucking combinations.
It's astronomical.
It would have been amazing if you had though. Like that would have been
Yeah.
so fucking good.
You just see Adam's face be like,
Like, what?
I would have, yeah. If you had somehow managed to guess, I would have flipped out.
Yeah.
So no, you and again, if this were a video game, it would be written on a sticky note, like right next to it, but it's not.
Right, of course. Or it's like a little, yeah, it's like a little thing that says like, I told you I changed the code yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And oh, sorry. You find she has 16 different audio logs scattered throughout her room. I have them prepared here. Everybody sit down a minute. I'm going to read them to you.
Yeah.
God, I've been
And
having so much
perfectly
problems with
compelling
my
evidence.
data pad. Can you get that tech over here to switch it over? What was the comm?
Yeah, exactly. So you've got her data pad, but there's no number on it.
All right.
So you can't get access to that. Anything else you
Then
want to know
he
about the room?
throws that onto the bed because it's useless to him. Like dead end if I unless I actually like have a good idea of looking around there. I don't know. I'm just gonna rifle through her drawers and stuff, and
Okay,
also
yeah.
rifle through her desk drawers.
Well, in her,
drawers
yeah, I get it. 'Cause- yeah, you find in her
He's
drawers.
not
You find some
actually
drawers.
doing that. It's okay. It's okay, Amira. He's not actually doing that. It's a joke.
Booker, like I spent an hour just like trying on her clothes and just looking at myself in the mirror, seeing what it looks like. So no, you again, like she's like a fucking comic book supervillain. Like she has a closet full of the same clothes, like the same acre issue jumpsuit, one for
Yeah.
each day of the week, set on like a laundry schedule. She has like 3 pairs of the same boots. She has a like I said, her entertainment thing and her acre issue like data pad. Her room is clean to the point of like military precision, right? Like her bed is made in a very specific way. This person lives a very regimented life. Her like food unit or whatever produces 3 different kinds of acre nutrient paste and 1 flavor of fizzy cheese. It's original. It's like a corporate nunnery. Like she doesn't have
boring
any
person.
like, yeah, right.
Actually, Booker even says that out loud. He's like, what a boring, bland person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess he'll spend a bit more time like kind of looking around stuff around near her bed if she's got a nightstand, typical places. He'd even do the look underneath the bed because some people are just that predictable.
Okay. Sure.
But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is probably going to be the data pad or anything like that.
Okay.
He's just trying to
Yeah,
look for
I think when
anything
you've
that stands out.
yeah,
If
when
it's all
you've
pretty
exhausted
bland, then
yeah, when you've exhausted your options in here, and you go to leave, you actually notice there's someone outside, watching you, like watching the room and like waiting for you to come out. You've definitely seen this woman before, though we've never seen her on screen. She is a member of House Eridanus. She's in her like mid to late 30s. She's sort of like she's got Mediterranean like coloring. She's shorter than you by probably like a foot, and she's wearing this like I don't know how good Booker is at like judging like quality of garb, but she's dressed very nicely. She has like a kind of like a gathered like sash, and she's got some like tasteful but very fancy, expensive looking jewelry. But she looks like kind of concerned when you come out, and she flashes you a smile and she says, "Officer Greaves, do you have a minute?" You recognize this woman as Eridanus Warren Kate. So her name is Kate, last name Warren. She represents the Eridanus noble that technically owns the Prudence. Because House Crux they don't own the ship. The ship was paid for by Eridanus and then given to House Crux to serve the Empire.
right. Okay. Sure. What can I help you with?
Well, I noticed you going into the Acre representative's room, and I was wondering if you could tell me why.
Sure. There've been some. First off, is this a personal inquiry or is this coming from someone else above you?
Consider it an inquiry from the ship's owner's representative. I like to keep abreast of these things. If we need to fashion a new contract, either with Acre or another provider, I'd like to know as much in advance as I can.
Understandable. I'm investigating the Acre representative that has been stationed on the ship. As far as I understand, there's some irregularity with her communications. And as such, since her office did not turn up much, I'm following the trail and building a profile on someone that might potentially be harmful to the ship and to House Crux.
That is a shame. I want you to know that I'm close with the Acre representative, and if there's any way that I can help your investigation, I offer myself as a volunteer.
Booker kind of studies her when she says close with the Acre representative. Like basically just trying to sense and motives and intentions and stuff. And
make a notice roll with wisdom. Oh yeah, they're doing it. Totally. Yeah, they're like, yeah, they're banging. They're having some very efficient tax collector corporate representative sex. She's here because she wants to find out what's happening to her like fuck buddy, but also to help because she's like loyal to the ship and the Empire and stuff.
I was typing a joke.
It's totally fine.
Yeah. Okay. Then I guess Booker will notice that, and I will call on you if I need your services or any extra intel, and appreciate it. Now, if that's all, I have to be going.
I had wondered, Officer Graves, if you could let me know what is expected to happen to the subdirector. As I said, if I'm to look for another avenue of keeping the ship operative, I'd like to know as well in advance as I can.
Protocol would dictate that I can't share any intimate details of ongoing investigation, and this is no exception. For now, she's detained. That's all I can tell you.
Of course, Officer Graves. Thank you. And if there's anything at all that I can do to help, well, you know where I am.
I do. And then Booker leaves.
Okay.
Giving her like a nod.
All right. Yeah. So you go your separate ways. So, let's see. I think the Amira. Now, Gabriel and Nomi, were you gonna go and talk to Kiran?
Yes.
Was that the plan? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, is there anything that you want to do before that happens, Kiran? Or I mean, Bronze. Like, you have an opportunity to do kind of like to have a scene before we do the like Nomi and the Crusader show up to talk to you.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Just like keep packing. All right.
Yeah.
So for you, I think the only thing that happens is you get an update on your trip out. You get like a anonymized email message that is from that it's sent from like your friend in the Trilliant Corporation, right? From in the ring. But it comes by way of like a travel company. Like it's like your itinerary for your journey or whatever has been updated, and it lets you know that there's a ship entering the ship that you've got a ticket on or whatever is entering system 24 hours local. So the next day it'll arrive. The ship's name is the One Toke Over the Line, and it will be here to pick you up in 24 hours. It's the name of the ship.
Okay then.
Yep, one toke over the line. That's the name of the ship, and it will be here to get you on your what is it? The tour of the core worlds, beginning with Hakani, beautiful Hakani, home to House Vela. And so this kind of like message arrives, letting you know where you can board the ship.
Yeah. That's a great name.
Mhm.
Oh, I guess I should have asked him for info about the high church.
I mean, you still have like a line to
Okay.
to Trillian and stuff if you want to send a message.
Yeah. When I get that message, I'll acknowledge it. Let them know that my paperwork is processing and, I should be ready to go when they get here. And then also put out some feelers and because this message would be going to Aram, right? Aram Cruz, I think was
Yep.
his name. Yeah. So ask him how much he knows about who. Let's see. I'm
I mean,
gonna ask
you're in
him.
like you can call him. You're in live comms range, right? You're in orbit over Berkman. He's just down on the planet.
Okay. I'd probably call him then.
Okay. All right.
Oh God.
So while you were watching your servant pack for you, you call up your other kind of part-time servant, your cruise director. You call him, and you hear you like it attempts to connect a couple of times, essentially like rings a few times, and then you hear it click on, and he sounds like he's a bit out of breath. And you can hear in the background some vague like squeaking noise and like a occasional thumping sound. This is as he's talking, occasional thumping sound and like a grunt or two. And so he picks up and you hear him breathing. He's like, "Hello?"
Oh God. Okay, give me a moment. I'm just gonna be like, Mr. Cruz, did I catch you at an inopportune time?
No, we just finished. You caught me right before the showers. What can I do for you? So what's great is I love watching all of you assume what's going on. I know what he's doing, and it's so
He's probably
funny.
playing racquetball.
He's
probably
fucking playing racquetball
because he
it's
said he's gonna hit the
racquetball.
showers, but it's still gross, and just trying so hard
really
to not.
funny.
Like
Yeah, we just
he's
did.
totally
Those two
playing.
good.
He's totally playing racquetball, but
Because nobody
it's so
says they're gonna
funny
go hit the
because
showers.
The
Yeah.
visual is just like, when
I know.
the camera cuts back to him, he's got like the shirt off and he's all sweaty. It's like a weird angle, and then it cuts
Mhm.
back.
Yeah. And I carry on like I don't know what he's talking about and don't want to know. I was hoping to ask you a few questions. What would you say you do at Trilliant when you're not helping me, that is?
Oh, I've got all kinds of jobs. I'm a people person. I keep people happy. So it really just depends on who I'm serving at any given time. What can I do to make you happy today, Amira?
Well, you could tell me if you've ever kept any high church members happy before.
Oh, I don't kiss and tell, Amira. You can
Well, I
hear
don't
his
need to know
smarmy
what you
grin.
did with them. I don't need to know what you did with them. I just need to know who you did it with. That sounds nasty. It's not nasty. I just want to know who's he assisted before me. It's not gross. Stop smirking at me, Mark.
I mean, like for a fact that he has serviced church members before. That's how it works. Like, and so he says, well, I can't give you names, but I've liaised with members of the high church before. A little Bible study here and there.
This is why I hate talking to him. He makes
I know,
everything
right? He's the
nasty.
worst.
He's the worst.
The best.
I knew this was gonna go like this.
The best / worst. If anybody feels like making some homoerotic drawings, draw him and Yancey just just going at her because that's
Yeah.
that's it. That's the worst thing we have in the universe is those two.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, of course I worked for the church before.
Well, I was hoping to get a little bit of information regarding if I wanted to, if there was somebody that was worth talking to at the church on Berkman, who would it be for somebody of my standing?
Well, it
If I
depends on
wanted
what
to
you want
talk
to talk.
business.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about the church. They're very particular about who they do business with. Did you have something in mind? If you could give me an idea of the project, I could ask around for you.
What if I wanted to invest?
And there's a long pause. Well, usually you have some idea what you want to invest in. Otherwise, it's a tithe. And the church has got plenty of those.
What if I wanted to invest my money off of Hakani in a location where it would not be easily tracked, thereby also improving the situation on Berkman?
Yeah, you can hear him listening like, I see. So you need like a tax shelter. Yeah, so okay. So what you're kind of positing here is like Swiss bank account hidden under the auspices of investing in the church on Berkman. But what you're really trying to do is get him to give up like a member of the conspiracy, right?
I need a name.
Yeah. So let's have you roll roll talk with charisma.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. So he says, let me ask around a little bit. I'll have some information for you when that boat comes to pick you up.
I was hoping for it a bit sooner. I just wanted to make sure that I had all of my ducks in a row. That's all. Before I get lost in space for a while.
I love the idea that nobody knows what that actual phrase refers to anymore. They just know what it means in its idiomatic sense. Like no one knows what a duck is, or why you'd want to have them in a row, but you know what the word, like the phrase means. So he says, well, no decision made about money made quickly is a smart decision, but I understand haste for haste's sake. Things are getting a little hot, aren't they?
They are.
Well, let me look into it for you. I'll work as quickly as I can.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And that'll be
cool.
It.
Yeah, and then you hang up. Perfect. Okay. All right. So Gabriel and Nomi, you find the Amira where you expect to find her. She's in her quarters.
Okay. Knock or ring the bell or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd open the door. I'm expecting at least Gabriel to come back to check in on our like what he asked me to look into. So
yeah, okay. I bow my head obviously and go, Amira, so glad that we could still catch you. Are you alone or do you have more guests?
No, just my assistant.
I was gonna say, like, in response to that, in the other room, her servant like bumps something or like makes a noise so you know she's here.
Yeah. Coughs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I say, like, would it be all right if myself and the Cirrus come in to talk to you?
By all means.
Excellent. I'll just gesture in, and I'll gesture for Nomi to go in first, and then I'll go in behind.
You'll have to excuse my lack of hospitality. We're not running at 100% right now. I'll motion to sort of the boxes.
Yes, Cirrus Carr mentioned that you were leaving. I wanted to forgive me, Cirrus, if you need to jump in at any point, please say. But I wanted to speak to you, Amira, because there have obviously been some developments based on what we talked about earlier, and I needed a second opinion, so I asked the Cires to come with me to discuss it with you, if that's all right. I hope you don't feel that that's a betrayal of your trust at any point, but I hope that you would
I
trust
don't
the
have
Cires as I
anything
do.
to hide.
No, you don't. I just wanted to make sure that you are aware. So, well, Cires, this is your area. I don't not want to give anything away that you're uncomfortable speaking about, so perhaps you should give a rundown of the situation, perhaps.
Right. Well, my aunt seems to be involved with some organization. I wish I could disclose more of the details regarding their operation. Unfortunately, when she asked me to be involved, I declined. And when Trilliant, furthering their goal, contacted me on Berkman, I alerted Officer Greaves to their sort of weird intentions and declined on that planet as well. Suffice it to say, I separated myself from doing anything sort of that seemed shady. However, despite my warnings, my aunt did not. I've
Yes.
advised her to hand over what information she has in the hopes of maybe obtaining some clemency, but well, that's the long and short of it. I brought in Crusader Gabriel since I thought maybe I could get some spiritual guidance regarding it in terms of how I could best help a family member that I care so deeply about, but who is going about things in a very negative way, or a way that I don't really truly believe in.
I'll look over at Nomi, see what she's thinking.
And what evidence do you have against your aunt?
Well, she was the one who first handed me this tablet about a group called the Sector Trade Organization. I'll be quite honest, I didn't really understand the nature of the organization. In fact, I didn't even really understand what they wanted me to do. I was frightened. I felt like I had been implicated in something I didn't want to be implicated in. So I destroyed the communication and told her to leave me out of her machinations.
So you no longer have this tablet that was given to you,
I do not.
or any record of its existence.
No, but I'm sure that my aunt would.
Can I tell if she's lying or hiding anything?
Yeah. I mean, so like, are you? I guess is the question as a player. Are you?
I don't think
Okay.
so. I don't remember if she gave me the tablet or if she gave me the message. I
I think
remember
it's
there
reasonable
being
for
a
you
tablet.
to have. I think it's fine if you ditched it too, to just be like,
Mhm.
I
this is
remember
bad to
I don't
have.
want
deleting it.
this.
I remember there
Yeah.
was like
I think I
a
remember you
moment of
deleting it or
me
something.
dragging it in the trash. We had that moment where like,
Mhm.
you know, Karen was like, I don't want to die. I'm in way over my head. And I deleted it, and it was really funny because like the next moment the Trilliant showed up on like right then. It was like a really but yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I did destroy it.
Okay.
Or
So
I'm not sure she
Nomi-
ever gave me the tablet. I think she gave me the message or something like that. I don't remember
Yeah, it's
exactly
fine.
how
It's
it
fine.
went.
It's fine for you not to have it.
Okay.
Right. The details aren't like super. That doesn't
Yeah.
super matter as long as like she's generally trying to be honest about what happened.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Nomi like kind of doesn't get the sense that she's trying to hide anything or be deceitful, and so I look at the Crusader and then I look back at the Amira and I say, and where is your aunt now?
I don't know. She left, how long ago was it? Like an hour? She left
Mhm.
some time ago, very shortly after Gabriel left my quarters, in fact.
Do you know when she
Hmm.
was planning to leave the ship?
A couple of days from now. She tried to get me to go with her.
And your purpose for contacting the Crusader about this directly was to protect your aunt in some way from what
Um,
exactly?
Not necessarily protect, so much as maybe how do I wanna say this? Secure a
I
way
think
for her to divulge the information she had. Because I remember saying that. I remember saying, like, "You should trade information for a way out, and
Mhm.
maybe the Crusader can broker this." Yeah.
I think like Gabriel looks at Amira and is like, I believe that you were still reaching out to me in my old role as the chaplain, seeking spiritual guidance on what to do, rather than looking to specifically protect, perhaps. But
That would be
nonetheless, there was
correct.
a way of trying to get the best solution possible for your current situation.
Well, then it seems that our best course of action now would be to speak with your aunt.
I would advise caution. She's very on edge, and she made some vague warnings as well. I don't know exactly what it was she was alluding to, but I would just advise caution. She might do something rash in her excitable state.
I thank
And
you
are
for
we
your
to
warning.
indeed? Are we to believe that your request to leave the ship perhaps is connected to some of this, Amira?
Not exactly. I actually only learned the extent of my aunt's involvement with the organization today when she came and called upon me when she found out I was leaving the ship. My reasons I disclosed to the Cirrus. I want to go home and see to it that my family is taken care of and see to it that I have some say in some of the changes that are happening. I've only heard whispers and rumors from the other Valens on the ship that there's major changes happening with the house structure at this time. And being an Amira in House Vela, it feels only right that I should have my voice heard in how my house proceeds in the future.
Very well. I'll just turn to Nomi differentially.
Okay. I'll look back at the Amira and say, um, I understand your reasons for wanting to leave the ship, and I still have the paperwork ready to be signed should this matter be cleared up. But first, I feel it's prudent to speak with your aunt to make sure that you're not perhaps more involved than you realize. Even if you aren't intentionally participating, perhaps she has something planned. So I would like to speak with her first directly before we sign off on your paperwork to leave. However, I do feel and agree with the Crusader that you are not hiding anything from us that could be considered treasonous.
We want to do what's
No
right for you,
intention of
Amira.
doing so. My transport does get here in 24 hours, so uh, I do hope you'll have a chance to speak with her before then. I'm eager to get
Yes.
back, especially given some of the vague things she was talking about. She kind of put me on edge, if I'm being honest.
Yes, I think because of
Perhaps,
that, it's important for us to speak with her as quickly as possible. So I will keep your
yes,
timeline in mind.
yes.
Thank you.
Perhaps it'd be a good idea for you, Amira, to just provide a written copy of what you've told us today. Send it to the CLS so that there is at least a written evidence of your accounts, should you have to leave. But yes.
And also, Gabriel, my friend is looking into the matter you asked me about, the matter on Berkman.
Yes, if he does find about any connection between Trilliant and the High Church, I would be very grateful to know about it. There's no need to be secretive about it. I believe that, like so many places, that there has been some darkness that has crept into the High Church, and hopefully you can help us bring it to light. Thank you, Emira. I am very grateful.
And I'll bid them farewell.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go see my aunt. I don't want to be part of that awkward mess.
You're like, you go talk to her, and I'm gonna just
Mhm.
stay here. Thank you. I have packing to finish with.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let's check in with Booker. So Booker, what are you gonna do? What do you want to do now?
We went to the her quarters, found kind of not much. I guess you would report back to Nomi, and then
Yeah, right.
find
I think that makes
she's
sense.
sitting in a chair, staring blankly.
Yeah,
because no
she
one's
actually
there
used
to
that
control
power
her.
on you where you forget that she exists. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Shit.
you knew someone was in charge. You think his name might have been Yoji, but you can't really remember. You don't have a clear memory of it. So, yeah, I think that's fine. You can like reconvene with them. And
He basically would just follow up with her or whoever, yeah. Based on the information he's gathered, and then also he'd probably check in too to see if the tech team had reported anything back to him, if he'd gotten a communique from them.
Oh yeah, before like anything official. Yeah, okay. So as you're walking to meet Gabriel and Nomi, you get on the line with the tech team. And yeah, what do you say? Like they pay what the lead tech picks up?
I wanted to follow up, see if you found anything pertinent or illuminating about our Acre rep.
Well, that's the thing, Officer Greaves. We cracked the separate partition. There's a bunch of garbled communication in here, but it's some pretty incriminating stuff, and not just for the rep. We've passed it over to info. They're digging through it, putting the pieces together, unshredding the docs. But this is some pretty big stuff. We're gonna send you a brief. You're on your way to meet your commanding officer. You pass it on to the Cirrus for us.
Yep, can do. Soon as
Alright,
you
so
have
you're
it compiled,
as
send it on
he's-
over to me.
Yeah, it happens before the conversation's even over. You feel the buzz on your compad. Now, Booker, technically, the correct and legal thing to do would be to take that document, not look at it, send it to Nomi. However, it's not password protected or anything. Do you want to take a little peruse before you get to Nomi?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Make a
I mean, Booker's justification is that he can't effectively do his job if he doesn't have all the information. So,
and who knows? Maybe you'll pick up something that Nomi will miss, and also like, is there any of that like? Well, I used to be the boss, so I should get to look at it. Like, is there any personal motivation for that?
I think,
Or are you just like
less
trying to be a
that
good
and
boy?
more just he still in his mind is used to like being privy to all information, so that doesn't even really enter his mind. You know what I mean? Like his brain process goes like, yeah, I need all information to effectively do my job, and then it doesn't even occur to him that is the protocol now, because this is probably the first time that he's like kind of entered or had to run across that kind of thing where protocol would dictate, you just send it to your superior and not look at it.
Sure. There's some little voice in the back of your head that's like, Booker, you don't want to do that. That's not protocol. And you're like, shut up, you. And then you
Shut up,
do
get out of my head.
Yeah, totally. Okay. All right. Let's get you to have do a quick roll as you scan this. Make a tech. Let's see. I think probably in this case it's just going to be a notice roll. Just notice with intelligence.
Okay.
Which you've been doing great at. If you can get another 6, I'll be so happy.
Pew.
Hey, a 9. That's like an upside down 6. Okay.
That's right.
So, yes. All right. So, email threads, essentially. Comms threads between the Acre representative. There are a few that are between the ship's navigator There are a couple that come from other House Valen email addresses or whatever, like comms addresses from Hakani, and then a few higher up ones from Acre. And it looks like at a glance, and you don't have like the full detail on it, but it looks like the Amira's aunt and the ship's Acre representative were acting as like go-betweens on a deal between Acre and at least a subset of House Vela. And it involves like skimming Imperial credits, like off of like official like fuel requests, and yeah, basically funneling money from House Crux through this like side deal they're working on.
Oh boy, Amira, your aunt is fucked.
Yeah, there is a message in there. One of the last messages. Now you don't know, and the tech team doesn't know either, what the package, the mysterious package that was delivered to her server was. But there is a message in there that instructs the two of them. This is a message from Acre to the operatives on the ship, to those two, that basically says like, your pickup is on the way. Don't leave the ship. Just hold tight. There'll be an Acre ship in system in Halesco to pick you up, and it's the time that it indicates is about 36 hours from now when you look at it.
Good.
Yeah.
And we shall
So at
leave
this point-
them no reason to not come rendezvous.
So at this point, Nomi and Gabriel, you come around one corner and you see Booker walking towards you. Booker has like, Nomi, Booker was like basically done his little investigation. He's gonna come to you.
Mm-hmm. Officer Greaves?
Nomi, perfect timing. Here, take a look at these documents that I just got from the tech team. They are rather interesting. He goes, "Bloop."
Okay. Nomi, can you do the same roll? Do a notice and intelligence.
Oh, that's wisdom. It doesn't matter, I guess, though, huh? The same for me.
Yeah, if it's the same boss. Okay, so at a
No,
this is
no,
interesting.
no.
So at a glance, it doesn't make any sense to you. It's just a bunch of like boring human communication information, but Booker can sum it up for you.
Okay.
So what does that look
So
like?
I-
You look at it, and it just looks like it looks
do
like
you respond
nonsense.
like
Yeah.
Do you respond like
Well, I
Yes,
understand,
I
it, but
see
maybe,
exactly what's going on here.
maybe you should
It's
tell me
good,
what
right?
you
It's good
think this
stuff.
Why don't
means.
you, why don't you explain what this means for the Crusader here?
Yeah, you can play that way. Yeah, you can play that way.
fantastic?
Okay.
Are we just standing in the middle of the hallway?
Yes.
Yeah,
you
so
can
when
move, though,
he
if you
walks
want.
up and he's kind of like, look at what I found, and I kind of glance at it and don't really understand it. And so I'm just like, tell me what you found.
I'd be happy to, but probably not here in the hallways. We can go into a conference room or something. It would be a lot more secure and appropriate.
Is there a room nearby we can just duck into?
Yeah, sure.
We
Okay,
go
cool.
into a janitor's closet.
Gabriel's already got the
much
door
better.
open. Keep an eye
Yeah.
down the
I mean,
corridor.
I think like, again, like you're on a Crux ship, so every room is bugged unless you need it not to be bugged, in which case it's only bugged by a different team that is like higher and more important than you.
Actually,
right?
you know what?
Like,
Considering that, Booker might have said something different. I'm gonna say perhaps Booker's quarters, because, and I'm gonna just say that he has a device to interrupt the bug that he knows is in his quarters when needed.
you're
You
just
let me
gonna
have
say
that?
that, are you?
I'm just gonna
We
say
gotta
that.
roll.
He's
We
just
gotta
gonna say
we
it.
gotta roll for that kind of bullshit. Make a luck roll.
Sorry, my bug scrambler's not working.
Remember, just we're making the roll, and we're gonna know the results of this roll. But I'll talk to you about what
Yeah.
Booker.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, Booker, you have totally disabled the ship's surveillance equipment in your quarters. You definitely have.
Well,
Listen, man, you put it out there, and I said yes. Go ahead and roll, and you failed. So this is where we're at now.
Yep. Yep. Poor Max. Poor Max.
I don't like it.
Well,
Sure, whatever.
to the Book
I
of
guess
Greaves cave.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in Booker's room.
Every time I introduce something like that, it always goes against me.
Well, just roll better.
Yeah. All right. So we should be safe from other ears, but you never know. Sorry, I can't. It's so hard for me to just be in character knowing we're fucked in that regard. All right, composure. So, based on this information and these documents, it seems that the Acre rep and what was it, the navigator you said? Or something? Someone.
Yes.
Yeah, navigator.
Yeah, the navigator. The navigator on our ship here have been quite corrupt. And he kind of like goes over to like what you said, because I can't remember exactly what you said, but like
Yeah.
what was the
you
general
give,
like racket that they were doing?
You give Nomi the
Skimming credits,
gist.
like embezzling.
Skimming credits.
Basically, skimming credits to the to the Acre Corporation and House Vela off of the like reported orders for the ship.
Yeah. So as you can see, definitely going to have some action. But the most interesting part is they're scheduled to have a rendezvous with an Acre shuttle coming to pick them up within 36 hours. That is where I think the true opportunity lies.
You're proposing that we ambush them and take the people that come to meet them into custody as well?
Unless they have no idea what sort of mission they're on and they're just trained, pilots to be there. But I have a feeling someone aboard that shuttle is going to have to know something.
Well, if
it was me, I'd give them no reason to think that anything is off and make sure all communication to Acre is highly scrutinized. As we'd want to do anyways from this point. Ymir is there too, right? With us, I'm assuming? Or was it just, it's just the two of you, right?
No.
Okay.
Just
I thought you guys were traveling together. Yeah, she was in her quarters, correct.
Okay.
But it's your call, Nomi. I just got it a moment ago and was about to bring it to you.
The problem with this plan is that we have already apprehended one of the suspects and she's in custody. So if they had some kind of code that needed to be transmitted every so often to ensure that the shuttle would actually arrive, she's already been apprehended. They're likely to figure out that this plan is no longer going to work.
Well, this all has happened fairly recently. From what I understand with the tech team, they were able to find the secret partition in the drive, and perhaps maybe they'll be able to discover if there was such a code or communication with regularity and fake it.
they could spoof it, perhaps, yes. But that does leave the question of the navigator. And do we leave her in her current position of authority and power and ability to influence matters? It won't be long until she finds out that the Acre representative has been taken into custody. I'm sure that word will travel fast on the ship. You know what this is like. And then we will have that problem to deal with. Or do we take her into custody now as well?
I think that's where it becomes Nomi's call. There's multiple paths we could go down here. I'm just here to leave out or lay down some options.
Well, the evidence is quite compelling. She's obviously a traitor to the Empire and obviously must be dealt with. But yes, I agree completely.
You just have to weigh how much damage the navigator could potentially do staying in her current position and access level. We could keep her there and quietly monitor everything she does. Hope she doesn't notice. Hope nobody tips her off and there's no other accomplices.
Was there
Hmm.
anyone else implicated by the documents that you found?
Just the two of them, right, Adam? Or was there any other talks?
Yeah, I mean, you did a glance. Like, it's going to take several hours for the intelligence
proper-
bureau to like reassemble it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So then Booker would be, from what I gathered, and again, this is just a fairly rudimentary examination. It'd be better suited with having someone from the intelligence bureau crawl through everything and see if they can find anything and decode any potential secret messages or other levels of encryption. So
Perhaps it's possible to have the tech team access the navigator's computer and track any kind of communications she might send out. Meanwhile, we should keep her under surveillance so that if perhaps she figures out that the ACRE representative has been put or has been detained, then we'll know right away and can apprehend the navigator. But in the meantime, we know that the ACRE representative sent or destroyed some communications before we were able to access her computer. Maybe the navigator has the same files on her computer that we need to access.
Yes, very true. And she does, well, the navigator does currently believe that I am going to help her, as was we discussed with the Amira, so perhaps there's something that we can utilize there, a way to keep her trust for the time being. But I believe that you might be right, Cirrus, that she should have copies, but also we'll know, as you mentioned earlier, if she communicated with anybody else on the ship regarding these matters.
Adam, real quick, what was
Yeah.
the name of the person that I talked to right outside the ACRE representatives?
Oh,
quarters?
the Eridanis. Kate Warren.
Kate, right?
I mean,
Eridanis,
technically
Kate.
Warren Kate, but the modern, her name is Kate. Her last name is Warren.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
if we're
Eridanis.
trying to keep news of the ACRE reps being detained quiet, there is one that knows about it, as she met me outside of the ACRE Corps reps quarters. One Kate Warren from House Eridanis, and she seemed very interested. From what I gathered, she had a intimate relationship with them. Said she'd be offering any help. So if you want to, I would advise to her and give her strict orders to share this information with no one immediately. And if she has shared it with Sharon. Is she Sharon? If she has shared
No, her name is
any
not Sharon.
information
Sharon.
with anyone else regarding this ACRE rep being detained, we need to contain it if we're going to keep it quiet from the navigator and any other accomplices on the ship.
Yes, if we have 2 rats, then it would be wise for us to figure out where the rest of them are hiding before we give up the game.
All she knows from me is that she was detained.
So it seems that Booker should speak with the representative from, or actually, Booker should speak with the woman from House Eridanis, and the Crusader should speak with the Navigator. Do you feel that you would be able to convince her that you're on her side?
I believe that it's unlikely that she trusts me completely. I imagine not. But it is possible that if I return to... It depends on what we want to do. If we want to lure her into the trap, then we can perhaps hint. I could say that I went to speak with the ACRE agent, but she's not there. We could even tell her that she's been detained, but hasn't been questioned yet. And see if that sparks her into any action that could be incriminating, even more incriminating. Or I can simply try and tell her that I'm keeping an eye on the ACRE agent and that I will keep her appraised, but that she should perhaps keep to herself for the time being, stay in her quarters, that sort of thing. It really depends what we want to do, but I wouldn't count on her trusting me completely. I can perhaps leverage the fact that I do care for the Amira, and I do want to make sure that I'm fulfilling her request. But yes, as is all things, it is very difficult for anyone to trust anyone aboard this ship, I feel.
Yes.
Perhaps you could just convince her that it's in her best interest to keep to herself in these last 36
Hmm.
hours before the shuttle arrives. And if she gets curious about the Acre representative, you can simply tell her some fictitious story about being assigned some paperwork on the other side of the ship or
Yes,
something.
keep her busy. That's keeping her
And
busy, perhaps.
keep in mind that if she should get suspicious or try to evade your supervision, we do have record of her committing treason, and she is a criminal and should be treated as such.
So you that is permission to take her under arrest if need be.
Yes.
Very good. It might be possible if you can speak with Crux. Could we potentially spoof the Acre agent's location to her quarters in case the navigator tries to ascertain where she is currently? It's not very
Can we
hard
just,
to
find
request
people
a
on the
location.
ship? Like,
I was just
Yeah,
saying
that's the
this,
thing,
this
like,
would
we
be
can
this would be the point where the surveillance team that is listening to this conversation would have a hard time not chiming in and being like, "Oh yeah, we could do that." I mean, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No problem. We got that. Already done.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh,
Yeah.
hot mic. Shit.
Booker's
I mean,
just
it was
like,
not
damn
hard
it!
to
Fuck.
find out. Fuck, I thought I
You
put that
can
bug
hear
there.
me?
All of the things I said drunkenly. Ugh.
But yes, Booker, you know that's absolutely possible.
Yeah.
They
I
heard
just-
you
it
reading
was
your
really easy for me
fanfic,
to find
your
you.
Yancey fanfic out loud.
Oh,
they
man.
they heard all of it.
God damn it. And that's when Booker triumphs over the evil Lord Yancey.
The great
Is
Night
it?
Booker.
Yeah, is that too on the nose if I just say his name in here? Let's change his name to Lord Yancelby. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, Booker would chime in and say, that shouldn't be a problem.
Good. All right. Well, it seems that we have a plan, at least.
Cool. Okay. All right. So it's going to take some time for the information team to figure out if there's any more detail in this stuff. And I think that you're kind of like the clock is running down for the Amira leaving the ship. So is there anything that you want to do, Amira, before you go? So you're packed up. You have your like outfit for tomorrow. Your apartment has been reduced to a bunch of boxes. And you're just waiting for like the go ahead from Nomi, the like release.
Yeah, I'd probably like send them all some sort of token. Like, what did I bring to the fate? Oh, I brought a basket of samosas. I'd send them all a basket of samosas with like probably a handwritten card to each individual person, thanking them
Somebody
for
would
their.
send me some fucking samosas. A little chutney there. I could use some. Come on, world, give me some free samosas.
With like a handwritten note to each person that thanking them for their efficiency and for having my back on Berkman and expressing a hope that we work together again in the future, but not really because the Amira never wants to do this again.
Like I'm out forever. Never speak to me again.
Be a
Delete.
space pirate. Yeah.
I
went
unfriend
from
them all
being
on
a
Facebook.
navigator on the sad songs to like all this stuff that she was just not ready for.
Mm-hmm.
And then like this
Okay.
sheer brutality of the crew as well, because she's just like, nobles always take care of the commoners because
Nope.
that's our job. They're our flock. And then like, you know, there's like tear gas and Crux riot men. And now she's just like,
Mhm.
I really hope I get to work with you again in the future.
Sometimes
Why?
the best way to take care of a surf is with a chokehold. So I think, yeah, like I think that you make your preparations to go. How are you gonna get from like this ship to the one toke over the line? Like how are you gonna what does that look like? What is the plan?
I'd probably
You want-
sit on my luggage in this docking bay. They're cleared to come here, aren't they?
They're not clear to like dock with the Prudence. So like you could get them to send you a shuttle and pick you up, or
Yeah.
you could you want to do that? Okay.
Or I
Yeah, so
can
you'll
drive.
have
Can
them.
I take can I take my own little shuttle and then
I don't
have it
think you
autopilot
have
back?
I don't think you have your own shuttle. I don't think you own one,
Mhm.
but you could probably
Mhm.
try to finagle like I guess here's the thing. The conversation you have to have, the last thing you need to do is have a conversation
Mhm.
with Nomi because if Nomi
Mhm.
files that paperwork, then
Mhm.
you'll be able to get a little crux shuttle and someone will fly you off to the ship and it'll all be above board. So I feel like that's the
Okay.
one thing we need to sort out. So let's have that
Okay.
conversation with you and Nomi.
Okay.
So some hours later, you and Nomi meet up. Where did the two of you meet to have that conversation?
Oh gosh, there we go. um, I would probably say like I don't know. Oh, in the observation on the observation deck, maybe. Like, and my assistant is behind me with like a little pull cart as well as stacked up with all of my luggage. There's a lot of it. There's just so much of it. Mhm.
Just piles of it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All
That's
right.
probably where I would
Okay.
or I would ask her to check, or I'd let her know like, "Oh, I'll wait here, and as soon as you give me the go ahead, I'll head out," or whatever.
So Nomi,
That's how to do it.
you go to meet the Amira knowing now what she does not, which is to say her aunt is a traitor and likely to have a intimate encounter with outer space if she keeps going on this train. But the Amira doesn't know that, and you're meeting with this young woman who is like literally completely at your mercy. You have her fate in your hands. You can choose what to do
No
with her.
pressure.
Well, and I'm wondering like that's just to set the scene for Nomi. Like when we go into the scene, keep in mind that that's Nomi. You are aware of that. There is this power you have over the Amira. So you meet her in on the observation deck, which shows you a view equally of space and of Berkman, and in the distance, the planet around which Berkman orbits. And yeah, and so Amira, you see Nomi walk in. There's nobody else around. Maybe there's some people like blurry in the distant background, but
Mhm.
Okay.
It's like all awful.
Yeah. Okay. So I walk in and I say Amira, I know that you are keen to make preparations to leave, but I wonder if you would speak with me for a moment.
Okay.
May I sit? And I kind of motion to like a chair or something.
Of course.
I sit down and I wait for her to also sit down. You sit down?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
I'd sit down as well.
Cool. I'm afraid that your suspicions about your aunt are in fact true. And we found a number of incriminating emails and communications that were sent that show us your aunt has committed various acts of treason, and will such have to be dealt with accordingly.
Karen, you can feel your heart start to pound, and like
Mhm.
there's like you get a little bit of a chill, like because now there's this
Yeah.
fear that maybe that means you're screwed too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I continue and I say, I know that you are eager to leave the ship for various reasons, and as I mentioned before, I do not believe that you are party to this treason. I wonder if you have considered how it will look, though, if you are to leave the ship approximately 24 hours before your aunt is held guilty of treason.
Well, I recognize that the timing is very unfortunate, but things are happening on Hakani, and I want to have a say in them. This might be my chance to have that purpose that I was lacking before. This might be my chance to put some of my education and my training to use, and I feel like every day I'm here, I'm losing a piece of myself.
As like in Amira, she's like a diplomat, right? She's like a
Mhm.
like in
Mhm.
kind of okay, like a young diplomat. Okay. Yes, I understand how you feel. And the challenge becomes putting aside your personal feelings and understanding how this will look to the Empire. You might have the Crusader and myself on your side, so to speak, but my true duty lies to the Empire. And while I don't suspect you of any treasonous acts, I am cautioning you to examine how this will look to the rest of the ship's hierarchy, to have you signed off to leave, to return to Hakani, a planet where our own navigator hails from and has now been found guilty of treason. As such, there might also be other Velen contacts that are working with the Acre Corporation, and we have yet to root them out, but I'm sure that we will find at least more than just your aunt and the Acre representative.
Yeah, this is gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
But I was the only one who did everything right. I followed all of the rules. I worked within the system. That's how this is supposed to work, right? Like I saw something and I said something. That's what they tell you, and it's not fair.
Someone behind the Amira starts raising a skull and crossbones flag real slow. Just real slow. Just real slow.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I know that it isn't fair. Unfortunately, your house name is sometimes more important than your actions, and there's not a lot we can do to choose or change that.
I know that you don't believe that. If that was true, then why would you even put in all this time here? Because you know better than anyone else that a Serpens, a house minor, couldn't get anywhere. So why do you fulfill your duty with the passion that you do if you're so sure that there's no point to it?
Because I do what is required of me.
Because you know on some level that has to change. And we're the people with the power to change it. I did everything that was right, and you gave me your word, and now what? I get punished. I can't even do the one thing that nobles are good at doing, which is engaging in the beautiful institution of lawmaking and governance because I followed the rules. I have a right for my voice to be heard. I have a right, and you do too. You have a right to not answer to these idiots for the rest of your life, because I think anybody knows that you can do that idiot's job better than him, and it's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, so Nomi is just kind of sitting there like, I'm not making eye contact anymore, and you can see that like Nomi is really mulling this over, like trying to figure out how she feels about what you're saying and weighing her duty to the Empire against how she feels
I'm
about
actually getting
like
sad.
her own like personal situation, where she's like, Yancey sucks. I want to be higher up in the chain of command. And yet, like what the captain said kind of flashes in my mind of like, you're Serpens, you're house minor. So I Nomi
I'm not
kind
emotional.
of
You're emotional.
Nomi pulls out kind of the paperwork that is supposed to be like her you get out of jail free card, basically, or like leave the ship. And I look down at it on my lap and I say, I am from the House Serpens. If there is any house that you do not need to remind of rebelling against an unjust leader, it is me. And I sign the paperwork and I hand it to her.
Nice.
I'm not going to give her a hug because I know Nomi doesn't do hugs.
Yeah, you're like, I hug her, and Nomi's like, I shoot her 12 times in the chest.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
that's how it has
But-
to go. You were gonna get off the ship right into that part where you touched me, and now you're a corpse.
I can't let you live.
Yeah.
How dare you?
But the Amira's like Kieran, not even the Amira. Kieran is emotional at this point.
Mhm.
And she just kind of like takes the paperwork, like hands shaking, and like motions to my servant to walk away. But as I'm leaving, I'm going to turn around and say, we can change it. We can make it fair. It's not fair, but we can make it fair. Otherwise, everything we do isn't for anything. But today you helped make it a little bit more fair. And I'll leave.
Before she walks away, I just say, there is a part of me that truly wants to believe you and believe in you. And I hope that perhaps we meet again in the future and you and I can work together to make it fair, as you say. And I like turn to walk out of her room.
Nice. All right. Cool. I think that'll be where we end it. As much as I really wanted to end on a scene of Booker like in a room with like streamers and stuff hung up all by himself.
That's so depressing.
Like just sitting there,
Booker
just
just
one of
by
those little
himself,
party
like-
things. Yep.
It's the closing
No one
shot
else.
of like the after credit scene. The after credit scene is Booker with a party hat and streamers.
A little purple party hat on, and he's sitting in a room with all these like hanging streamers. He's got one of those little things like beep, like yeah, just the little thing in his mouth. Nobody
And then
showed
Nicola
up to the
just
Booker
runs
party.
by.
Man, I experienced a little bit of bleed there because I was like, life isn't fair. Everything's fucked
Yeah.
and we can't change things from the inside because bureaucracy's a bitch.
This is unfair.
I do so love it when people grab on. Everybody did great theme work today. We'll talk about it more in the post show. But that'll be our episode. So, Bronze, I'll give you a new character sheet, and you can let me know about what you want to make for your character. Do you feel okay making the character yourself, or do you want to do it together, or what do you think? Do you want to think about it? Either one is fine with me.
Do it on the show.
Yeah, like
Or-
I'm good either way. We could record it. Let's talk about it afterwards. I'm fine.
Okay.
Either
Okay.
way.
I was
I
like,
need to know.
doesn't it take a long time?
I need to know I just need to know like who your character is, what faction they're connected to, and and then we can work together to find a way to put them on the ship for the next mission.
Okay.
And for Nomi, Gabriel, and Booker, we'll do at the beginning of the next session, we'll do a little epilogue about like what happened with the research you found and what happened with the lady. We'll kind of play some like not really RP scenes, but we'll just describe like the scenes and figure out what happens, and then we'll pick up and I'll give you the briefing for the next thing.
Nice.
Cool. All right. Well, let's do some shout outs and we'll go do our post show. Let's begin with Mark. Mark, do a shout out, Mark.
Hello, I'm Mark. The main thing I do is a D&D show called High Rollers. It's on the Yogscast Twitch, and we also have our own Twitch called High Rollers D&D. It's a 5th edition D&D show set in a homebrew world that kind of combines fantasy and sci-fi. It's really good. You should come and check it out. It's really fun. I also do my own streams. I've actually been streaming a lot more recently. I've been streaming every day, so check me out on Twitch. I've been playing FF8 at the moment, so you should come and check that out. And yeah, all good times. Thanks for the great show.
Sick. Thank you, Mark. Bronze, go next.
Oh, yeah. Hi, hello. I'm ThatBronzegirl. I am also present on Twitch and the internet. You think I know how to do this by now, but I don't. Cool things I'm going to be in. Oh, yes. Next month, I'm going to be in a show called Relics and Rarities with a bunch of the cast of Daredevil and other celebrities that I'm not allowed to disclose. But if you like D&D 5th edition and you want to see me play a barbarian, check it out. It's on Geek and Sundry /alpha. That first week of February. I don't know the date. Don't judge me.
Secret celebrities, like, and I'm not saying she's on the show, but maybe Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't know. Maybe could be on D&D. Who knows? Max, do a shout out.
Waiting for the transition. There it is.
There we go.
Hi, guys. I'm Max, otherwise known as GassyMexican. I'm a variety caster here on Twitch and YouTube. You can find me under, just type in GassyMexican into Google. You'll find me. I'm going to be streaming later on, and I don't know what. I think I'm playing Jackbox stuff with another friend of mine. If you want to check that out, go for it. Good show today. Not tomorrow. Friday. JP will talk about this probably more in the post show, or whatever. But I'll be joining JP on Wizards of the Coast, right? Wizards. That's the people that
D&D.
Yeah,
Twitch.tv/D&D.
Yep, for a podcast talking about roleplay stuff and kind of promoting the upcoming 100th episode, the live show for Court of Swords. But this is Verona, and I've had a good time. A little bit of a Booker Light episode, but that's okay because that means I get to listen and enjoy and chat with you guys in chat. So that's been fun. So thanks for chatting with me, guys, and of course the rest of the cast and Adam for doing their thing and making it so enjoyable. All right, let's move on.
Nice. Thanks, Max. And last but not least, the lady in charge. It's AnneMunition.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time. I'm excited to talk about this in the post show because I could see the chat had the very wrong idea about what Nomi was thinking. So I'll see you guys in that. And yeah, my name is Anne, and I already said that. Twitch, Twitter, everything, all the same. AnneMunition. I still haven't decided if I'm going to stream tonight. I was trying to think about that, but I have some stuff going on tomorrow, so I still haven't decided. Maybe I'll stream tonight, and I don't know what I'll play. I don't have any answers for you guys about anything except for the show. So I'll talk about that in the post show. Bye.
Excellent. Thank you. Cool. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. As usual, if you want to ask questions of me or the rest of the cast, there's a Q&A thread up at community.itmeJP.com. So go and check that out. You can find me at twitch.tv/AdamKobel or on Twitter at skinnyghost, where I do GM prep for all of these shows and where I sometimes play Magic the Gathering. So you can find me over there doing that. As Max said, if you are not already aware, which I hope you are, we've got the 100th episode of Court of Swords coming up, which is our 5th edition D&D game. It's me and Max, Zeke, JP, and Dan, and I am so proud and so excited. And we're going to do a big live event, and we're doing some lead-up events. I will be on Dragon Plus with Zeke on Tuesday. So that's my part of the promo, hanging out and talking about stuff. So you can check that out if you're interested. And I'm just so excited about all these RPGs. I'm so glad to be back. This is a great episode. We're going to go and talk about the episode. You can find that. We do post-show content and all the other fun Discord stuff over at patreon.com/rollplay. We're going to record that video. Thanks for coming, everybody. That's it. We're done. We're done for today. See you next time, y'all. Bye.